Woohoo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, another Nintendo Direct in the books, and that was a big one. But did it deliver or did it disappoint? We are here to discuss and find out together. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switchforce. I've got my crew, Jake and Gabe, here. You guys should definitely play along and let us know your take on the Direct in the comments down below. Let's get right into it. They started off with 3DS. They gave us 10 minutes of 3DS, 35 minutes of Switch. Beginning with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I'm going to kind of just run through the 3DS stuff so we can get more to the Switch stuff. You guys can stop me if there's any highlights you want to point out. But they showed off some new Pokemon. They showed off a new like Pikachu area, and they showed off more story and more lore. And then my favorite part, freaking Pokeball themed new Nintendo 2DS XL launching 2 weeks prior to the game on November 3rd. I like that a lot. Also, if you pre-order or buy the game, the digital version, by January 10th, you'll get 12 Quick Balls.
Sure.
12.
Odd number, but okay.
Very quick.
Very quickly, they also announced that the white and orange new Nintendo 2DS XL is hitting on October 6th in the Americas.
That thing is the exact inverse colorway of the black and blue.
Yes.
Yeah, that is the not good looking one.
And then they scroll through quite a few other titles, and I'm going to go through the ones that I'm just going to read the names. Shin Megami Tensei, Strange Journey Redux, Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, Fire Emblem Warriors, Etrian Odyssey 5, Beyond the Myth, Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology, The Alliance Alive, Minecraft New Nintendo 3DS Edition hitting today, Yokai Watch 2 Psychic Specters, Latent Mystery Journey, Catriel and the Millionaire's Conspiracy. They touched on Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. They introduced Kirby Battle Royale, which is a tournament-based Kirby game for the 25th anniversary in single and multiplayer modes. Hits on January 19th. And my favorite part of this segment, Mario Party The Top 100. I wish it was coming to Switch, but I'll take it anyways. November 10th, you're getting 100 of the best Mario Party games across all titles on 3DS. It has download play, so you got 4 players, 1 cart, go to town. And I like the fact that they realized that they can't make a good new Mario Party anymore. So they're just going to take the best from the old ones.
Yeah, we're going to play this game together. We have to.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it looks super cool, and I hope that Crazy Cutters and Facelift are in there, because those are 2 of the best Mario Party mini games ever. And I really hope that the next Mario Party coming to the Switch has like this caliber of games in it.
100.
Yeah, well, just the quality that are in these, like the Shy Guy holding up the flags minigame. That is one of the most intense, nerve-wracking, and frustrating experiences in a Mario Party game, and that needs to be in Mario Party Switch.
Yeah, the 3DS stuff was very cool. I'm also excited for the Mario Luigi game, but the Switch is where it was at for me.
Yes, so they began with a really big look at Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I will say, I think that game looks awesome. I don't think this was the right way to show that off.
Yeah, you mean that you don't want an old man talking like this?
Like that? Why? Who thought that was a good idea?
I don't know.
It was very dull, and it was very like in depth too. Like, if you're trying to get people who haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 1 or Xenoblade Chronicles X, like if you're trying to bring them over,
you don't start reading off the factions and
going through every type of attack. And
yeah, I thought the factions and like the lore part was cool, and like the story was like a good idea. But then when they got into like talking about the blades and how many you can have and what their special abilities can do and like all that stuff, I was like, whoa, they're trying to like give a lot of details about the game, but it's like gonna lose a lot of people, I feel like. And I don't. The only reason I could think that they had the super calm Gramps Titan voice was because like there was so much information they're trying to cram into under 10 minutes that they had to have somebody like really calm and monotone to narrate the entire thing.
Yeah, but make no mistake, the game looks awesome. I am super excited for it. It is like my second most anticipated game on the Switch for the year. So I'm all for it. It's just that presentation was not great. They do have the $100 retail special edition that people can get, of course, as well. Release date December 1st. That's also important. There was rumors about December 13th. So
15th, yeah.
15th, sorry. Yes, but December 1st, pretty good.
Well, and it's actually hitting this year, and that was a concern and a worry, and they kept saying it would, and it is. And I think December 1st is a great date. It's past Black Friday, but it gives people something to really get into when the snow starts to settle. And I think it looks epic. I mean, if they would have just muted the audio, I would have been more excited because the characters and the enemy design is really cool. The combat looks awesome. The worlds, I love this concept that the sequel takes place on the backs of these giant titans. I think that looks really awesome. I just think getting so granular and nitty gritty was not the way to sell this. Like, we didn't need the tutorial and the lore. Like, out of nowhere, they just start telling us 9 factions or 7 whatever it was. I was like, what is even happening?
They went through all of them.
Yeah.
I just don't get also why this is the game that got a Pro Controller, and we'll get into that later. But the Pro Controller looks really cool. I'm just not sure why this was the sole game to get a Pro Controller.
Because it's a hardcore game, and Pro Controllers are for hardcore people.
Oh,
yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like a lot of these games, this one could be played on just the Joy-Con, right? Like, there's not a lot of crazy movement happening in Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
No, I mean you're moving plenty. It's not crazy.
But that's why it's with the Pro Controller, because like, you know, ARMS had the Joy-Con come out and no Pro Controller because it's like highlighting the motion control of the Joy-Con.
Okay, so $75 for the Pro Controller, of course. Is that $5 more than the normal? I don't know if that's a typo in their press release, but that seems odd because I'm pretty sure that.
Dude, those like maroonish grips are very expensive.
They are. I also like how it has like the X through the.
Yeah, maybe it's that. Maybe that was the $5 extra charge.
Look, that took someone a long time to make that mold. So yeah, Pro Controllers are $70. So I'm not sure why it's listed at $75. Maybe that's a misprint, or maybe it's just that darn cool. But I think that game looks awesome. December 1st, it's going to be a big one, and it again helps round out the Switch lineup with more genres and gives us like a really big title for the holiday season. They had a couple more major tentpole titles, and I feel like we'll just go through those first. Project Octopath Traveler got a big debut, or I guess an update. It looks cool.
Beautiful, not cool. It looks beautiful by the producers of Bravely Default, an awesome little RPG on 3DS that a lot of people really, really love. Sorry, I'm taking over on this one. Octopath Traveler launches worldwide on 2018, but the demo's out now. I'm going to try it as soon as we're done with this video. I'm going to have a Let's Play up, but that was exciting. I like games like this, so this is totally a Gabe joint.
Yeah, it was continuing, again, this focus on very hardcore games, I feel like, which is interesting. It continued even to the third-party segments, which we'll touch on in a second. I think Project Octopath looks cool. I love that they dropped the demo now. I love when they do that kind of stuff. We didn't get any indies hitting like I predicted, but we did get 2 things dropping straight out of the Direct in the form of Project Octopath Traveler and the ARMS 3.0 update, which didn't have any new info really, but it was unveiled and announced that it would be releasing now, which is cool. So I'm gonna have to go play some Lollipop inflatable action after this. But the third title that got a spotlight for Switch was Super Mario Odyssey. That game continues to look insane, and I will just state that tropical island kingdom is hands down the coolest Mario level I've ever seen.
It's just, I mean, we're gonna have a separate video talking about all the new features they reveal, but it just amazes me that they continue to unveil new things, and just from like, oh, full map. Oh, this is the 10 kingdoms. They're like, nope, we're not gonna unveil all of them. We still have more for you to explore. And it's just like, what? And there's so many new enemies to capture and different mechanics to play with. It's incredible how vast this game really is turning out to be.
Yeah, you can customize the Odyssey with decals. Like, there's all types of stuff. Like, I think any worry of this game being short is just out the window now. Like, this is going to be a massive adventure.
At the end of the day, my burning question is, who has more outfits, Link or Mario?
Well, we'll
have to do a comparison.
We saw more scope in the form of 69 moons in the Sand Kingdom, and
69 in one area.
You multiply that by even 10 kingdoms, and even if there's some variants, 40, 53, you're looking at hundreds of moons. So I think any fear that, there's going to be 15 moons and you're out of there, gone. And the density of that tropical kingdom, right? When he's running through the jungle, that's the stuff I love in games. And I feel like they upped their visual, not just fidelity, but their artistry. That snow world, that's like unlike anything I've ever seen Mario be a part of. That looked absolutely brilliant with those drifting blizzard effects and how Mario is going to platform through that kind of an area. It doesn't look like the typical, Mushroom Kingdom or happy-go-lucky block-filled paradise. That was like an intense Uncharted level in Mario Odyssey.
Dude, I remember the days of E3 when I was gonna make a video saying that there's only 4 kingdoms.
Yeah. Gosh, how far we've come, right?
And now, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that they have. It's a much huger experience than I ever imagined.
Yeah, and those of you that are fans of Jake's analysis of Mario Odyssey, he does a good job with that stuff. He's working on that as well.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about shirtless Mario?
Great. I love it.
I don't feel about.
He's letting loose. He's taking some vacation time in the middle of this stressful chase around the whole globe. I applaud him. Good on you, Mario.
I love that the internet like instantly made that like a thing though. Like they gravitated towards that image so quickly. And we're talking about shirtless Mario, but the photo mode that looks awesome. The photo mode looks like you could do you can have hours of fun with that. Like obviously not continuous hours, but getting the angle correctly and making wallpapers for your phone. Like there's a lot of really cool stuff in there.
Yeah, the effects you can put on that made them look like some cool cell shading and weird art style. It looked pretty dang cool. Like it looked more than just take a screenshot like the Switch has. It's like pretty in depth artistically what you can do with it.
And the variety just continues to shine. I mean, we saw the confirmation of Cappy's girl. Which we like.
Tiara.
Yes, and
it's no longer a spoiler because Nintendo said it.
Yeah, and just all the different kingdoms. We got a better look at Cap Kingdom. We got some seaside, some snow, some tropical, more cool.
Still haven't seen the lake.
Still haven't seen the lake. There's more cool transformations like that weird floppy dino thing in the tropical.
Oh man, that is the face of the direct for me.
I also love the fact that he turns into the letter M.
Yeah, there's a lot of inanimate objects that you can capture too.
Oh, and all these mini games that are in different kingdoms. I don't know if it's one per kingdom, but that looked really cool. And some were obviously simplistic, like the RC car, but some looked like almost like the racing slides and things like that. That looked super awesome.
Sorry to cut you off, but you can play Mario Brothers. Did you see that?
I don't know if you can play Mario Brothers, but it's like a level from.
Yeah. I mean, I know you can't play the exact game.
It's from Donkey Kong, actually, but yes.
Yeah.
What I said, Mario Brothers. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I mean
Donkey Kong. Yeah, it's a 8-bit section of New Donk City, which is cool that 8-bit thing has been expanded and it looks like it's in every kingdom as well.
Right, and just seeing how it all takes shape across the different kingdoms, and we got the first view of the global map, and it reminds me a lot of the Mario Galaxy map.
Mm-hmm. And the moon is there. Could that be any indication?
The final
for things to come?
Battle, and I want to,
but I don't understand this freaking bundle. But you can go ahead. Finish
one more fun fact,
first.
and then we'll talk about the bundle. Let it be known that Nintendo opens Breath of the Wild with Nipple Link, and now we have Nipple Mario. So I don't know what's going on over there, but
and there's cooking and food and many outfits. Man, it's the same game.
So this bundle, let's get to this. We had predicted a Pro Controller. They instead deliver Joy-Con, and they're not even. I mean, they're themed. They're Mario Cappy Red, but they're not as themed or as exciting as we thought. They're giving you for $380, you get the game, but a digital version of the game. You get red Joy-Con, the first non-neon Joy-Con Nintendo has presented, and you get a case. Mm-hmm. Now, I will say that case is incredibly dope. That case is so freaking cool. It has the world map in the background, Cappy, a nice red. It's a really rich color. I will be getting that. I don't know how I feel about getting a digital copy and just red plain Joy-Con.
I prefer digital because Mario is one of those games that you're going to want with you all the time, and if you don't have to swap cartridges, that's all the better.
We just don't know the size.
I mean, I feel like
if it's a 13 gig game like Zelda, or even if it's an 8 gig game, that could be putting pressure on people's onboard storage.
Well, also, I feel like if you're going to have a game case to display of any Switch game, it's going to be like Zelda or Super Mario Odyssey. So I feel like it's a game that people really want to have to like a physical shelf item to display. And well, I will say that the red does look good with the black, that color scheme that they got going on. I feel like they just totally swung and missed with like the opportunity to go with something really dazzling and white with, like to match the amiibos. Whether it be the Joy-Con or a new grip or a new dock or something, I feel like they just had a missed opportunity. And again, this going back to what Gabe was saying, like the Pro Controllers come out with the more hardcore games, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Splatoon 2, and the Joy-Con seem to be coming out with the games that are highlighting motion control, like ARMS and Super Mario Odyssey. There's a lot of hat-throwing tricks that you can do with the motion control, so maybe they want to push Joy-Con with this game as well. But a little disappointed in that bundle, not going to lie.
Okay, last thing I want to touch on, just accessories-wise. I know we have no confirmation of it, but I have to believe that at some point they sell those Joy-Con separately, right? Maybe? And then the bundle doesn't matter, because you can, if you want the box, go buy the box.
I don't have an issue with the bundle. I just have an issue with the fact that, like Jake said, they had an opportunity to do something either with Cappy's eyes or just go glitzy and wedding white. I understand and instead we just get.
I'm talking about the previous point you made about it being like a digital download and how you didn't like that. Like, if you don't want a digital download, go buy the game, and this bundle isn't for you.
Sure, I think it's a weird choice.
Buy the Joy-Con, because you're not saving any money like by buying the bundle. Like, this isn't a bundle of savings. Like, it's $300 for the Switch, $60 for the game, and then $20 for the case. Like that if they sell the case separately and the Joy-Con separately, then you're totally fine. Go buy it.
Yeah, my expectation is that October 27th, the only way to get these things is through the bundle, and then maybe later in the holiday season or early 2018 they split things up.
For sure.
But yeah, Mario Odyssey continues to look phenomenal, and I was proud of them that they showed a lot without showing a lot. Like, I feel like they were able to get us even more excited, but not spoil anything too secret. Like, very quick cuts, very, simple looking areas of the stages, not like the complex end of world bosses or things like that. So that game can't come soon enough. That's it for the tentpole titles. They also talked about a lot of others, and there was a huge emphasis on third party. So a couple that we'll just kind of quickly touch on.
Wait. Before you do that, I'm sorry, I have to cut you off before we go to third party. You said tentpole, and we didn't mention Snipperclips here. Like,
it's not a tent pole. They had four. Gabe, there's 4 poles to a tent. Okay, they had Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, Xenoblade.
The Snipperclips is the pillar in the middle that it went just in case one of those other poles breaks. You're good.
Take it away, Snipperclips Plus.
Very, very quickly. $30 at retail if you want to buy the box copy. $10 DLC if you already own the original game, which you already should because the game is fantastic. 30 new stages, new challenges, new features. The game looks really, really cool. There's like a new art style in some of the levels. I'm super excited for this. I know we're going to do like Let's Plays. We're going to cover this game extensively. Trust me, I'm going to make these guys do it. I will sit them next to me and say, hey, it's time to be snip and clip again. Because I know you guys really enjoyed the first part. But DLC for this game I think is important. I feel like it did well. And it's a small game that, although not made by Nintendo, is still, Nintendo-ish to me. And this is exciting, and I know the third-party stuff, there's other exciting things over there. I just didn't want this to get overshadowed. Snipperclips Plus cut it out together, man. November 10th. That's a good one.
Absolutely, and it does look really cool, and it's great to see Nintendo continue to embrace DLC, even for their DLC games. And putting this out retail, I think, is going to really get it even more exposure. It fills a nice November slot for Nintendo, and continues to pace their calendar exceptionally well. They pretty much have something hitting non-stop, which is fantastic. So Snipperclips Plus, 30 new stages, some new art styles, and the sort of redux of the old stages with different custom randomized shapes. Like they're doing good things, and only $10 to add on to your original purchase. Okay, so they also talked a lot of third-party stuff, and there are a few more Nintendo tidbits that we'll touch on before we're out of here. But third-party wise, I mean, They showed Dragon Quest Builders. That's coming next spring. They showed Lost Sphere from Square Enix hitting on January 23rd. They showed Sonic Forces hitting on November 7th. Resident Evil Revelations in 1 and 2 hitting on November 28th. Nothing can compare to the unveiling of Doom and Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus for Switch. Doom hitting this holiday, Wolfie 2 in 2018. The most left field, no one could have predicted it announcement of all.
This is crazy. This is crazier than Snipperclips DLC. And we have a video dedicated to this portion of the announcement on the channel now that you can probably go check out. But it's really good that, first of all, they have more M-rated games. L.A. Noire was already coming. That got announced recently. But Doom being this like really fast-paced, hardcore shooter, with multiplayer, and Wolfenstein, like games that we just probably didn't even think could run on Switch. Honestly, I didn't think that games like this could come. And yeah, they're not going to look as good, but you get to take them with you. And if you want to play them on PC and 4K, you can still do that. But if you want to play on the go, Switch is the only place you can do that, and it's going to be like fantastic, honestly. Again, you have to be aware that they're not going to look as good.
Yeah, and we don't know the exact specs. We'll have to wait on that. But I think just getting first-person shooters onto the Switch is huge, and then getting mature-rated games, it just makes a really big statement that, hey, Nintendo is playing hardball this time around. They are looking to appeal to the hardcore gamer. They're going to give you their big Nintendo titles, but they're also prepping to give you more multi-platform, and we're seeing that in the form of the sports titles this year, delayed but still real solid shooters, and then hopefully in 2018 we can get day-and-date releases with some of the big hitters. I'm personally so excited to bring Wolfenstein 2 on the go. Obviously, like the kind of person I am, I have to play it on launch day, October 27th, but I will play it again on handheld just because it's so great to be able to take that kind of game on the go with you. It becomes then a portable PlayStation or Xbox One without bearing that name. Obviously, you're never going to get the exclusives, but if we can start to get more and more third-party standout selections, it's going to be big. They also went through their...
Well, okay. I'm so sorry. Before you go, I want to say this because they didn't say it, but it's all but a certainty. You will need an SD card for those things. Like you're right. Like there's no way that you don't need an SD card for those two.
I assume so. I mean, the weirdness today with NBA dropping down to 6.8 gigs. You never know.
But you still need one, so I think you're going to need
I would think so. Anyhow, let's move to Skyrim, NBA 2K18, WWE 2K18, and LA Noire. Now, I was surprised that they didn't show any footage of LA Noire, especially since that game is hitting in 2 months exactly. But they did reconfirm the November 14th date. One of my favorite games of last generation, a superstar title to take on the go. If you missed it, you got to play it. NBA hits this week digitally. It's still such a weird situation. We touched on that in an earlier video. WWE 2K18. Oh, they also mentioned FIFA 18. That's September 29th. No launch date yet for WWE. Skyrim gets a November 17th date, which puts it nicely in between Mario Odyssey and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. They all look pretty good. I mean, nothing crazy. I think NBA is going to really be interesting later this week to find out how that actually finished and how that plays and how it sells. But again, more third-party support, and Nintendo definitely spending the time to really showcase and highlight those multi-platform editions.
I was going to say that this is the first time we get like a decent direct feed look at these things. Like, yeah, we've seen trailers for Skyrim, but like we saw gameplay like this time, like real, like this is what the game looks like gameplay. Same with NBA 2K18. We've seen trailers and stuff, but those are like PS4 trailers. This was the first like real good look at the Switch. There was those like off-screen images and like little teasers from the event, but it looked as good as can be expected for the console.
I'm beyond pumped. No preload, which is kind of a bummer, but we will be playing that on Switch-aroo. There's more. Flip Wars. You want an update for Flip Wars? I can't get excited about this. Flip Wars has a free update. Morphe's Law, man, the game that bit us in the butt at the Nindies Direct, the one that we all were like, what? And everyone in the comments was like, no, that looks so cool. It was back. They showed it toe-to-toe with some of their biggest hitters, and they made it look actually pretty cool this time. The fact that, bigger legs gives you better jumping and things like that. I don't know. Maybe it ends up being a kind of cool off-the-wall addition to the eShop.
Console exclusive this winter. I mean, that means it's coming to PC, so if that's your platform of choice, you can still play there. But I agree with you. I was not more impressed by it because I still think it's a little wacky, but I think I have a little more hope for it now because they did show a little bit more of that gameplay. And like you said, sometimes you're too tall, you can't go through doors. Like, it's cool stuff.
It could be fun.
If wacky's going to succeed anywhere, though, it's going to succeed with Nintendo.
Yeah,
so
that's a good point. So it was odd, and I'll make this point here. It's odd that they still didn't give a lot of dates. Like, Golf Story, still September. Morphe's Law, winter. WWE, later date. Like, still weird that we don't have dates for, like, Golf Story's out this month. They have, 18 days to put that thing out? 17 days? No.
Hey, it'll be a surprise.
Yeah, I guess. I just think the aversion to dates in today's modern gaming industry is a weird occurrence.
Well, you can't have it both ways. You can't hate delays and then also.
Oh yes, I can. I can want dates that they hit. I mean, that's
Well, no. Well, they're not giving you a date because they're not confident in the date
Sure.
yet.
Fair enough. Arena of Valor, I think, is a small blip that is, again, a big statement. Bringing a MOBA to the Switch, even if this one isn't that exciting, it's a free-to-start MOBA. To me, that's a big deal. Again, expanding the audience and expanding the genre selection on Nintendo Switch is important. And as they continue to do things like this, even if this game finds a small slice of success, it speaks so well for the future of the platform beyond the initial rush. We know that Nintendo's done an amazing job this calendar year. What happens next year, 2019, 2020? Things like Arena of Valor, I feel, are going to really help shape the future of the Switch library.
Yeah, I'm not an MMO person, so I can't pretend to care about this one. But for those of you that are interested, I hope you enjoy it.
Very, very cool little addition there. There were some more Nintendo things. We're going to touch on them. They showed off Lyn for Fire Emblem Warriors. That game, more trailers than any game ever, I think. They showed off some new Splatoon 2 DLC. I love how they keep the content coming with that.
Arcade Archives.
Arcade Archives, which I want to tap into for a moment. We have a separate video discussing it, but this is so weird to me. And Jake, I want to get your take. No virtual console, but we have versus Balloon Fight versus Ice. What are they doing?
They are trying to. I really don't know.
So
I have
strange.
no idea what they're doing.
Gabe and I were trying to pause it in our other video. Like, is there any direct correlation between virtual console plans and this, or is everything separate and we're just reading too much into it? Like, did someone at Nintendo just be like,
yeah, is this just
yeah,
like a
hey, we
Namco
want to put these
museum
out.
kind of
I want to
type
play
thing?
them on Switch. Let's make it happen.
I don't know who wants to play them on Switch. Maybe Reggie. But
I'd love to see the sales numbers. Like, I got to imagine that like versus Clu Clu Land sells like under 1,000 copies, right?
No, I mean if it's $3 or something, then no, I'm sure.
Yeah, and the
people
price
will
is
buy it.
also going to be interesting. They can't charge much for these.
this makes me wonder also if they're gonna, when they do virtual console, if they like go reverse order, or like start with GameCube, or like have some big blowout where it's like a bunch of Mario games or Zelda games. Like they can't just have this and then like trickle feed virtual console. Like, all right, now we have some more NES games for you to play, and then as it like. They can't do that, right? If they're going to put out these kind of things and the classic minis as well, they're going to have to, when they release Virtual Console, have something of substance besides these 8-bit games.
Yeah, I hope that there's no direct correlation, and I hope this is just like someone's pet project. If they can possibly go any slower at their rollout of Virtual Console, this is the sign that they will. Because if you remember, slowly doling out NES games and SNES and then N64, like that took ages. So if we're going to now go back even further...
The new race is between a Smash Bros. Game on Switch and Virtual Console.
At this point,
on Switch.
I'm pulling for Smash to win that one. All right, there was a further clarification of the new Kirby game. We got a release window this coming spring and a title, Kirby Star Allies. You are able to recruit enemies, and you can play up to 4-player co-op. It looked pretty cool. It looks very Kirby-esque. But hey...
I like giant, beefy,
that's what I was going to say. I love
DD.
Daddy DDD, the biggest, brawniest boss in all the land.
Well, and I also like, my favorite Kirby game that I've played probably ever was Kirby 64. I forget the official
Shards.
title, but yeah, the Crystal Shards, because you can combine two different powers, and they're kind of bringing this back where you can combine two, like a bomb and wind, and get a hot air balloon or different things like that, which I think is pretty cool and something that Kirby games should have, like where you can try out different powers and try to combine different things. So bringing that back a little bit may make this more interesting to me, because I haven't played a Kirby game in a long time.
Well, and it's a good sign that it is hitting early. So it's like that, I guess, for me, further confirms a greater potential for either surprise releases or Metroid Prime 4 or things of that sort hitting the second half of the year.
Yeah, because Yoshi's coming out early too, right?
I mean, it was given 2018, but I think it's safe to assume since it was shown off.
Yeah, they showed gameplay in the treehouse at E3.
And they showed more of that than Kirby. So I was surprised that Kirby got the recognition here, but it is, again, tying into that 25th anniversary, and it does match up then with Kirby Battle Royale. for 3DS. We're getting towards the end of the list here. They had another little Nindy focus. It was basically recapping some standouts from the previous showcase. SteamWorld Dig 2, Golf Story, 9 Parchments, Battle Chef Brigade, Super Meat Boy Forever, and Tiny Metal. The only one that has a date is SteamWorld Dig 2 on September 21st. The rest all are just windows, but will be cool once they hit. Now, they also mentioned Rocket League coming this holiday season. We learned today that it will have cross-platform play, which is great. Gabe, you mentioned that you didn't think it looked so hot.
Yeah, the game didn't look as good, clearly. I don't know why. The detail just wasn't there. There wasn't as good detail as the console and PC counterparts. I played that game primarily on PS4, and just visually, I think that's why they didn't allow capture at the event. I'm a little worried. As long as the game still plays good, honestly, it'll be fine. It just didn't look quite as good. I don't want you to miss this, and I feel like we might miss it if I don't mention it. But Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 were also mentioned.
I hit those November 28th. No, you're fine.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That rounds up the games that were announced. Now, they also highlighted the amiibo. They highlighted the Goomba and Koopa for Mario Superstar Saga. They highlighted the 2 Fire Emblem for Fire Emblem Warriors. They highlighted the 3 Mario amiibo for Mario Odyssey. And they also, just to be completely 100% here, they also did highlight Metroid Samus Returns, which comes out this Friday. I omitted it just because it's basically out. But they did make a quick mention of that, and that will also have 2 amiibo if you were curious. But what I wanted to touch on next is what wasn't there and what we expected. And look, after talking about this for the last 30 minutes, it's clear to see that Nintendo had a lot to show. It's clear that they are committed to pushing so many projects out the door. It's frankly incredible, and I love it. And Mario Odyssey looks fantastic. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 looks just gorgeous and immense. Still pumped for stuff like Fire Emblem Warriors, Skyrim, L.A. Noire. Getting 2 shooters in Doom and Wolfenstein's great. But there wasn't that jaw-dropping moment. Kamiya retweeted and trolled again. Nothing from Platinum. No Smash Brothers, obviously. No new Wii U port. No big, bold, new Nintendo first-party announcement. Did that leave you a little salty?
Well, no, because I'd never
That's
expected
true.
these things.
You didn't.
You're the one that
you thought we were going to get nothing. And so, yeah.
Well, for me, I feel like this was sort of a, round out the end of the year, put some more spotlight on those games to make sure that those all sell well, talk about some other new things coming out, and, with the Bethesda stuff and things like that. Again, I wasn't expecting anything major. I thought maybe there'd be one new Nintendo game kind of announced, but I feel like this focus was to try to, cover everything that they have coming out, and show the Switch's breadth of variety of games and kind of close out the year solidly. And then I think next year they'll probably open up with another Direct because they love their Directs.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I knew that nothing was coming is just the year's full. They have a game every single month, and they're doing a good job focusing on that. Then they got to provide DLC. There wasn't any room for it, and unless you're this arcade game that sure you could put that out. But yeah, I never expected a big Nintendo game out of this. No way. Doom and Snipperclips stuff was to me the most exciting. I'm happy with it. To me, this was a good Direct. It wasn't the best thing. A lot of it was recapping and rehashing and reinforcing things and giving a deeper look into Xenoblade. But yeah, that's exactly what I expected.
I really wish the Mario Party, the top 100, was on Switch. I feel like that'd be so much fun.
That would be cool.
I think that was a great game that they came up with, but I feel like it would have been so much better on Switch. This is probably because I haven't played a 3DS in a very long time.
I'm just surprised that we didn't get a Bayonetta or Wonderful 101. Platinum clearly is doing something. It's just when is it going to get announced?
Trolling.
Well, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a December Direct or something that kind of gave you an insight into 2018. I feel like Nintendo could totally do that. So I don't know that we're shut in for the rest of the year on announcements. But this definitely was, like you said, Jake, a focus on what's been announced, further clarifying, and then bringing in some new morsels. It's great that Snipperclips Plus is hitting November 10th. It's great that we're getting some new 3DS stuff like Mario Party Top 100 this November as well, and then further cementing their third-party relationships. I also want to point out, no mention of apps, no mention of themes, no mention of any sort of UI upgrades or updates.
That's going to be their Christmas
Maybe
Direct.
Santa brings the themes.
Ho ho
I
ho!
would
Have
love
a
that.
theme.
But yeah, that wasn't there. I was, frankly, I was resigned to the fact that maybe that wasn't going to hit this year. Though I did think apps would be a part of today's show, but I was more surprised that we didn't get some like one more thing. I thought given a 45-minute direct, they would have used that time to really pimp out.
They did it. They did the one more thing. They did it with
Yeah,
Mario.
but we've seen so much of Mario.
Yeah, no, but they literally did the
okay,
one more thing.
True. You're accurate in that assessment. And I also like that they introduced a very greedy coin toad, the hint toad, that takes your coins and helps you find different moons.
Yeah. Uncle Amiibo. That's just a shout out to that. That was funny to me.
Some
Uncle
really
Amiibo.
just clever and great stuff from Mario Odyssey. It's going to be a great rest of the year. There's a lot to look forward to, and I think even though this didn't offer, the heavy hitter that we were hoping for, it definitely brought a lot of really solid stuff, and it surely shows that Nintendo is going to keep the releases and the relationships coming. I think interesting takeaways are what's going on with Virtual Console, how does this third-party rush towards the end of the year impact 2018, and when is Nintendo going to bring in apps? But we'll have to wait to see that. No mention of Stardew Valley either. A lot of people were really convinced that was going to be there. Hollow Knight, that wasn't there as well. So nothing on that front. But you can go play Octopath. You can go play the ARMS 3.0 update. And you can get ready for a fall full of Nintendo fun. Let us know your take on today's Direct, your favorite parts, your biggest omissions, what you wished was there and wasn't, and why you feel this Direct was what it was. Do you think it was a stellar showing with further detail, or do you think it was a missed opportunity to make an even bigger imprint? Let us know your take in the comments down below, everybody. Before we get out of here, favorite moment of the Direct from each of us?
Snipperclips.
Ooh, if it has to be a game, then the Mario Party Top 100. If it has to be a moment, the crazy flying lizard Mario.
That Mario level was awesome. I think my moment was just like the realization that Nintendo somehow decided to put Doom and Wolfenstein 2 on the Switch. That was just crazy to me. And again, I love the breadth and the scope of Mario Odyssey. I'm so pumped that that game is creeping ever closer. So we are going to creep out of here. You guys creep into those comments. And until next time, thanks so much for watching. Fantastic day. We love you all. For myself, Jake, and Gabe, another Direct in the books. Another Nintendo night of fun has been had. And for now, Switch Force